welcome to Bloody Maryz, a queer horror show. I am a room full of flies, Alex.
And I'm a mouthful of bees, Sean. And this episode, we'll be talking about Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge.
So, we are a couple of queer...
We're not a couple.
Oh yeah, we're not a couple. We are at least two.
There is one of each of us.
Horror nerds who live together in a flat in Hackney. And we thought it'd be fun to do a queer hot take on what we think about horror films. Also, our pronouns,
Yeah.
by the way, are they, them. Also, needs to do content warning at the top of the show. Just say, obviously, we're going to be swearing a lot.
And talking about sex. And, yes, discretion advised.
Yes. Also, of course, it's going to be full of spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled, yeah, just don't listen. Come back when you have.
Watch the film.
Watch the film.
Yes.
Okay, off you go, Sean.
Thanks. So, Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, came out in 1985, which is a year after the first one. Just for a little bit of context, it was released the same year as Day of the Dead, and Fright Night, and Reanimator, and Friday the 13th Part 5, and also Back to the Future, and The Goonies, and The Colour Purple, and Rocky IV, and Clue.
That's a big year for you.
Is it? It was actually the year before I was born. So,
okay, I was 4.
Well, congratulations. So the first film was directed by Wes Craven, and it was set in a fictional town in Ohio. Do you remember what the town's called?
Spooky Town.
The correct answer is Springwood. And it's a man with a burnt face and glove with blades, known as Freddy Krueger, who begins attacking teens in their sleep, and the injuries start to manifest when they're awake as well. Oh my god. It turns out Freddy was a child murderer who's released from prison on a technicality, and is burnt alive by the parents who form their own vigilante group to seek justice. He was originally, in the first one, written to be a child molester, which they changed just to being a child killer. But in the 2010 remake, he was a child molester.
Oh, damn. This is imagining him without blades, but with dicks for fingers.
Who would be the worst? The first film was a huge commercial success and went on to become a franchise of 9 films, a TV series, and comic books. In the first film, the main protagonist is Nancy Thompson. She survives and she reappears in the third film of the franchise. But the second film, which we're talking about, centers around it's easy for me to say, Jesse Walsh, who's played by Mark Patton, who moves into Nancy's former home with his parents and his sister. The film was received pretty poorly critically, and was compared unfavorably to the first one, but since become a cult classic because of its very, very obvious queer overtones. Although it did gross almost twice as much as the first film. The first film was released in 85, but it was released in 84, but was set in 81. And the second film takes place 5 years later, which was 1986, which was a big year for me, actually. The original plan for the plot was for the mother to be pregnant and for it to center around the possession of the fetus in her womb. But apparently that was decided against because the co-producer, called Sarah Risher, was pregnant at the time and found it a little upsetting.
Well, she wants the baby to crawl out and harass people.
I don't know in such detail, but it was apparently the screenplay for it was original, or the idea for it was influenced by Rosemary's Baby. But apparently this idea does go on to be used in the 5th film in the franchise, which is called Nightmare on Elm Street 5. But
Freddy's a baby.
Freddy is a baby. The Dream Child. So Wes Craven turned down the opportunity to direct this script because he didn't like it. one of the bits he didn't like the most was the possessed parakeet, which I'm sure we'll discuss at some length. Yes. And in the original script, the character of Jesse was the sole protagonist, but on Wes Craven's suggestion, they balanced it out a bit more between him and Lisa.
Yeah.
And it is the only film in the whole franchise that has a male protagonist. And the other original plan for the film was to save money because Robert Englund, who plays Freddy, was asking for a pay rise. So to save money, they were just going to have an extra in a rubber mask playing that. But then they changed their mind.
So it is him.
It is him, yes. There's one scene where they use an extra, and that's the scene in the shower with the whipping, but you can only vaguely see him through the steam anyway. So that is the plot in a nutshell.
That is a nutshell.
Thank you. So shall we try and remember what happens in the film?
Well, I was going to ask, I don't know if we can cut this out, wasn't I? I was going to ask, when was the first time that people made a sort of queer, like, I don't know, like a queer reading of the film? Like,
well, I don't know, but it seems like it didn't really get that kind of cult status until a lot later. But I mean, I don't know how you can watch it and not see that it's a very queer film. Apparently, Wes Craven found it quite gay, which might have been another reason why, even for Wes, which might have been another reason why I didn't do it. And the main character, Mark Patton, who was himself a young gay man, he was 20 at the time. He thought it was very apparent, and he actually refused to do some scenes that he thought were too gay because he didn't want to be typecast as a gay man, because he was already kind of going that way because he'd been in. He'd just been bummed loads of times. No, he didn't want to be typecast because his like most kind of marketable thing was the fact that he has a very feminine scream.
Yes, that was I thought it was real scream.
Yeah, it was. And he was very aware of how homoerotic it was while it was being filmed. So I don't think it was like nobody could see it until like afterwards. I think it just kind of maybe picked up more of a cult following when there was enough distance away from it to be thought of as like a sort of current serious horror film.
Yeah, because I saw, I mean, obviously it's your gig to do the research, but I did see that the Advocate described it as the gayest horror film, although there was a better word than that. But I wondered when that was.
I think it was considerably later, because now it's always on the top kind of queerest films that aren't directly queer. Sort of thing. Mark Patton had quite a sad story, actually. Well, no, he doesn't. He has a great story, but he basically didn't really have a huge acting career after this. He was in a few other like kind of throwaway B movies. Yeah, I think so. He then became an interior designer.
Oh my gosh. And also a hairdresser.
And a flight attendant. And a drag queen. Classic us. Okay, so the film begins.
Obviously, with a little pootly yellow bus.
Yeah.
Shooting down the street.
Yes, featuring Freddy out of Freddy Drag as the driver.
Yes, a brief flash of him. And then some sort of 80s looking children, including my favourite, a large ginger boy at the back of the bus with a boombox, the Smith Music Suspicious.
And then gradually everyone gets off until there are just 3 people left. And the 2 girls sat slightly in front of the main character, Jessie, are kind of like, like kind of...
Yeah, I can't tell whether they're like, oh my god, look at him, he's like really sweaty and gross. Or they're like, oh, he's a fitty.
Or it's like, oh, he's gay.
Either way, they perfectly illustrate a failure of the Bechdel test by 2 girls directly talking about that.
But also, in that, because at the beginning I was just like, surely that's not the main character. He's disgusting because he looks really like pasty.
I didn't recognize him when the film started because he's all like sweaty and strange. I mean, he
looks kind of like sunken, and he doesn't look like he had any eyebrows.
Yeah, he looked like a sort of like throwaway like nerd character.
Yeah, but so that dream sequence, the bus ends up kind of in the bowels of hell, teetering on a giant stalagmite. Phallus in Wonderland. Yes, just one of the first phallic. So actually, there's a funny quote that Mark Patton said in a BuzzFeed interview in 2016. When they said, did you think this was like a gay film when you're making it? And he describes the scene where can you remember when like there's a record melting and the baseball cap is melting?
Yeah.
And he said about that, I'm lying in bed and I'm a pieta and the candles are dripping and they're bending like phalluses and white wax is dripping all over. It's like I'm the center of a bukkake video.
So it's a bit of a stretch. I mean, even for the gayest film that's ever been made.
Yeah, I think it's unusual that's the bit that he thinks was really gay, like a melting baseball cap.
Suggestive baseball cap.
Yeah, when one of the first scenes is him and Grady rolling around with his jockstrap around in the mud.
Out his bum and then wrestling.
So I think the character of Grady is weird because it's unclear whether they're like friends or is he like a bit of a bully to him.
Yeah, because in the beginning he's like kind of irritated that they have to do like push-ups together because of the wrestling, I guess.
Yeah.
But then they're also like bonding over the fact that like the most hilarious. Well, it just all happens so fast with the queers. It's like the jock strap, and then all of a sudden it's like talking about how the coach goes to queer S&M joints downtown. It's like what's happening?
Yeah, I think I was expecting the subtext to be a little more like of a slow burn.
Yeah, yeah, like more of a kind of like academic read.
Yeah, it starts with a bus balancing on a giant dick. And then a sweaty boy waking up being covered in dripping wax like a bukkake.
Oh.
So then what happens?
Oh yeah, well the other hilarious thing is that when they had broken the rules by a jock strap wrestling, the coach then says, "Boys, assume the position."
Actually, one of the kind of queerest moment, or maybe not the queerest, but a very queer moment happens much sooner than that, and it's at the end of his nightmare where he bumps into Freddy in his hallway. And Freddy says, "You've got the body, I've got the brains," and then he kind of peels his scalp back.
No, even before that, no, wait, we've got the chronology wrong. Because so basically, the push-ups and the jock strap happens, then he has the nightmare.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Because the first nightmare just ends with him on the bus.
Yeah.
On the big tip.
Yeah. But I mean, like, it's due to one of the million of him being sweaty in bed scenes. But yeah, so then he goes downstairs he goes outside weirdly in sort of like one of his lovely blouses. That's right.
Yes, the one that looks like frontline PPE, sort of scrubs, tabard.
Yeah. And he notices Freddy through the window. I mean, I don't know why he goes outside anyway, but yeah, so then he like goes to check and then he realizes that Freddy is there. And then Freddy tries to get out through the door and he's going, Dad, help.
Oh, yeah.
And then Freddy says, "Daddy can't help you now."
You've got a new daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, so the character of Lisa, he gives her a lift to school.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Oh my God, have you banged yet?" And he's like, "No, I just give her a lift to school." And apparently she was cast because she looks like Meryl Streep. And she really does. She really, really does. And it's a shame she wasn't in a lot after this. She was in a few like kind of shitty horror films, and she was in one of the Hellraisers from the mid-90s. But she doesn't really have, because I think she's good. Like, she's a really likable character.
I think she might even be like the best actor in the whole film, to be honest. Like, she's iconic. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
And she's got there's something really nice about her voice that I really like as well. I don't know. She seems like she should be bigger than she was.
Yeah, because I'd actually forgotten about her until she bursts into his room while he's being forced to tidy it, listening to like the gayest disco.
Yeah, and closing the drawers with his bum.
Oh yeah, like
in his little blue jeans,
clothes, like twerking at clothes.
So his bedroom and the bedroom of Grady, I couldn't stop looking at the posters on the wall, and I think there was a big Kate Bush poster on the back of his door.
Yeah.
We think there was a Smiths poster in Grady's room.
I think, yeah.
And there was definitely a Kajagoogoo. Yeah, that was in Grady's. So Grady is the kind of like tanned, hunky, sort of more palatably attractive than Jesse kind of character.
Yeah, definitely has a better bob than Jesse.
Yes, and also although they're playing teens, they're definitely adults.
Yeah.
So
it's okay.
So the three leads were all 20 when the film was made. Yeah, and I guess they're supposed to be playing like 17-year-olds.
Yeah, I feel like it gets mentioned at some point, but I can't remember. They're probably meant to be like 13 or something, to be honest.
Yeah, it's difficult to tell. Although the fact that Lisa's parents are quite happy for them just to have a little party and then kind of turn a blind eye when the music starts and they get the booze out.
I mean, they're still in the house, so it's not like the most wild thing.
And also, so the scene where the coach of the, I don't know what the sport is, baseball?
Yeah, oh yeah, they are playing baseball.
Yeah. Bally runny throw. The coach is like a bit of a sort of jock bully, but then very quickly you find out that he's into queer S&M stuff.
Because like I was saying, like to you, like I didn't understand whether it was into a dream sequence, because I didn't understand how like he ended up downtown at the S&M club, which like he was just suddenly there with his like shirt open. He'd obviously walked all the way there without any shoes on. But like got in sort of somehow and also ordered a beer. And then the coach catches him, but then they flash forward to them being in the gym and him doing laps. It's like, what happens there?
I thought that was a dream sequence, but then I guess that's kind of the point of this one, because I think the difference with this film and the first one, and from what I can gather, all of the films in the franchise apart from this one, is that this is the one that kind of, it betrays its own premise in a way, because it's not just confined to the dreams, the kind of attacks and the violence. He's present in their like waking time as well, or at least in Jesse's.
So do you think that Freddy went to the S&M club?
Well, him kind of possessed by Freddy.
No, they're not looking like.
No, he wasn't looking like Freddy because we saw him, and he looked like him. And he's the coach is wearing this like really weird, like shapeless sort of like
leather sack with straps.
Yeah, so then he obviously takes him takes him back to the school gym to punish him for being there, I guess, by making him do a lap.
Yeah, well, he's still wearing his weird bunny ears leather gear. And it's so hilarious. The one Adidas t-shirt he's like wore like earlier on is like hung up on the rack, and it's like he only has two out. Two like leather or Adidas t-shirt.
So and then he's like, hit the showers. Dirtbag or whatever he calls them.
Yeah.
And then this is the most surreal scene in the film, I think, because all of a sudden he's in the office. The coach, while Jesse is showering, the coach takes some skipping ropes and puts them on the desk in his office, and all of a sudden all of the balls start bouncing around.
But it's weird as it starts with the tennis rackets, all the strings just melting. It's like, oh, it's so spooky.
Yeah, they're kind of like twanging like guitar strings. Am I right? Yeah, and then all the balls start flying around and bouncing about, and he looks remarkably unconcerned at this stage.
This is that was terrible acting, and this is like, oh, this happens all the time.
And then the rope kind of like binds him, which I guess is kind of another like
tsunamis.
Yeah, and drags him into the shower, ties him up, and then his clothes are all like whipped off him.
Yeah, just like it's just insane, like just sudden nudity.
There's a funny review about his acting. The coach So it says, Marshall Bell scowls ferociously as the coach, who calls his chargers dirtballs and who is eventually attacked by a demonic towel.
Yeah, because that's it. He gets like whipped really like furious.
Yeah, and like it draws blood immediately.
Yeah. And then what happens? Then Fred just like garrots him or something.
Yes, I mean you can't die out of being whipped on them, can you? Can you? I don't know.
Fatal horse.
He had terminal larks. And then this is the part where it starts to blur the line between Jesse and Freddy. And this is another thing that Wes Craven said he didn't like about this film, was that he didn't like the idea of Freddy possessing the humans, because he thought that the strength of it was that you had to be asleep for him to injure you or kill you.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because he's not actually asleep. Well, yeah, because was he meant to be asleep when he ended up downtown? But then he woke up when he's in the gym. Yeah, it's right.
No, I think he woke up because he was waking up every night, and sometimes it was a dream, sometimes it wasn't, and then eventually it stopped being a dream. But it is quite difficult to tell, which I guess kind of makes sense because it's all a bit dreamlike, but and a bit silly, and a bit silly. So then
so then he realizes that he has the glove on. And this is like the first time you hear his like ridiculous girlish scream, which I thought was sort of like what I dubbed in, but I shouldn't see it apparently.
Yeah, and so the next day, the school... Oh, and he's found wandering naked by the police, isn't he? He's taken back to his parents' house, and then they start... so his dad says, I'm just going to ask you 2 questions, and then we're all going to go to bed. What are you taking and who's giving it to you? So the dad thinks he's on drugs and the mum thinks that he needs... he's just off his tits on dick. That he needs to be... that he needs some help of some description. Yeah.
Help.
And then at school the next day, he is confronted with the fact that the coach definitely was killed. It wasn't a dream because the ambulance are there. Grady tells him that he's been slashed in the showers or something.
Yeah.
And then
what happens next?
Then is it the party after that?
I think it might be the party. Oh no, so they're at lunch, and this is like where Grady says hilarious thing where it's like they're going like, "Oh my god, are you gonna come to the party?" And then like Grady goes, "Oh, I can't." And they're like, "Why?" And it's like, "Oh, I threw my grandmother downstairs."
Oh yeah, he was grounded for grandma aside.
Like really casually, and nobody would respond. Like,
classic Grady.
Grandma being thrown down the stairs.
So the other bit we forgot is so at one point Jesse is going out to meet Lisa, and his dad says, because they've just moved to the house, the whole house is unpacked apart from Jesse's room. So Jesse is told that he has to go up and unpack his room, and then Lisa comes back, and then while they're tidying his room up, she finds the diary.
Oh right,
and
that was an important bit.
And the diary is Nancy Thompson's, who's the protagonist in the first film, and she starts reading it. She's like, "Oh, it's really spoopy." And then he obviously has this realization that she's describing Freddy Krueger, who he's encountered, but at that point they don't know who he was. So then Lisa goes all Inspector Morse and starts investigating. She photocopies some newspaper covers from the local library.
Yeah.
And they go together to the power plant where he used to work.
Oh, I thought that was where he got incinerated. Was that not what it was?
I think it was both.
Oh, okay.
And then they go there. I can't remember what happens there. So they go there. They find a closet.
Oh, they find a closet with a rat in the crib. Well, I don't know if it wasn't a crib, but it looked like a little baby rat.
Yeah, just a little baby. Yeah, I don't remember what
they find out then.
I think it's probably just to kind of...
Oh, because she's like, "Oh, do you get any kind of vibes?" Because she's trying to figure out whether he's psychic or something.
Oh, yeah. She thinks he's like a clairvoyant that can solve crimes. Yeah. I guess the purpose of seeing the power plant at that stage is to then... So that when
they introduce it later.
Yeah. So then it's the party.
Yeah.
So Lisa's having a party. with the dad flipping burgers.
Yeah.
That look like little sort of toasted char-grilled slivers of doom.
And it looks like they're on like a sandals holiday. They're just like kind of like with like 40-year-olds just
doddering around. And then so the scene in the this is the good bit. So Jesse is sat looking miserable because he's obviously got a lot going on, having just killed his coach. And then he goes into this weird little like hut thing. Yeah. It's like it looks like a beach house changing room or something, like a little beach hut.
Yeah, maybe it's just like a pool house.
Yeah, I guess so. And then Lisa follows him in, and then they talk, and then they end up.
But he's like, this is like, you know, where it's like really ridiculously like so thinly veiled about his like sexual orientation. It's like, I've just got a secret and I can't hide it anymore. I feel like I'm losing my mind.
There's something inside me. And then but then they start smooching. After she reassures him a little bit.
And the kissing starts really like kissing all over the wrong bits of the face.
Yeah, and then he just nuzzles his head between her breasts.
Get on the ground. like cupping her boobs while also just like, just rubbing his face. And she's like erotic throws on my face. Like, just above the belly.
And then all of a sudden, from his mouth comes a large sort of tongue that looks like a log of shit.
Green brown log of shit. And he's like, I can't do this.
Yeah, so she doesn't notice, thankfully. He panics because he can't go through with it.
Yes.
So he runs away.
The greeny brown poo was...
It did. Yes. It pushed him over the edge. So then, all of a sudden, we're in Grady's bedroom.
Yeah, that literally just like teleports.
Yeah, and he wakes him up with his hand over his mouth, leaning over him with his shirt open. And I think this is the queerest part of the film. Because, not just because it's like kind of homoerotic, but because the fact that just at the point of having sex with her, he can't go through with it. And aside from the queerness, the reason that he can't go through with it is because he's got this Freddy Krueger thing on his mind. But instead of telling her, who already knows all about it and is a confidant and he trusts, he goes to him, who is someone that he's had quite a weird fractured relationship with so far anyway, and looks to him for comfort.
Yeah.
In kind of like, he's looking for him to be a protector.
It's true. I was just thinking like that. Yeah. Well, I guess in a way, like if he did kind of embarrass himself with his poo tongue, he probably needs to run away and hide somewhere else.
But she didn't see the poo tongue. The poo tongue clang.
Private food.
This is for after marriage only.
But yeah, that whole I wish I like made some notes, but it was just like so overwhelmingly just like queer, that bit with the speech being like, something inside of me, I just can't hold it in anymore. Like just like it's just like a lot. And then like Grady's all like, what do you want me to do? I'll do anything. Like seductively like in bed, it was like whammed out.
He also says something wants to get inside of me, and he's just like, yeah, she's called Lisa or something.
Yeah, she would peg him.
Just a couple of fingers, just to, loosen him up. So then we have, so it's also really rude of Jesse to be like, you need to make sure that if I fall asleep, you wake me up if it looks like something's going on, blah, blah, blah. So then he goes out and expects Grady just to sit awake and watch him when he's just woken him up from his sleep anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, Freddy then comes over him again, as it were, and kills Grady.
He literally comes out of him, actually.
Oh, yes. And there's the scene where Jesse opens his mouth to scream and you can see his little eye inside of him. The eye of gayness. The big gay eye. We all have one inside of us. And then, he slashes him and then he goes to the party as Freddy.
But no, I mean, you're missing out the kind of like the sexiest kind of like bit where like Grady jumps out of bed wearing these tiny like shorts, like camel shorts, and is pressed up against the door, like body all sweaty and heaving. He's like screaming, "Daddy!"
Oh yeah. I read a review that said that that Jesse is very rarely seen fully clothed, and I think you could say the same for Grady as well. Like it's a very fleshy film. So then he goes to the party as Freddy. And this is the scene that most people have a big problem with.
Oh.
Because it's not just that Jesse sees him in his waking hours, but a whole pool full of people that are all wide awake also see Freddy. So it holds very lightly to the premise of the first film, which is that you have to fall asleep for Freddy to get you.
Yeah, this is another kind of weird like bit, isn't it? Because like, but wait, wasn't Lisa going to go and find him?
She was, but she doesn't.
No, actually, yeah, because she's
at the party still.
Yeah, so that's silly. But yeah, she meets him inside because everyone else is still having a party, and then like he becomes Freddy for a bit, and Freddy's being like really like coy and weird, and like doing things like knocking like plates, shells and stuff, like a naughty cat.
Oh, and that's where she panics and she tries to whip him with a pashmina.
Oh yeah, pashmina. Don't get me. And he has this like campiest meltdown. He's just like, he comes in, he's all covered in blood, and he's like, "I've done all the killing." And he's like, "He's inside me." And he's like, "What do I have to do to make you understand me?" It's like flapping his arms around. It's like so gay.
So Wes Craven also had a problem with this scene, which was that he didn't want, because basically all of the people around the pool are like in their 20s playing teenagers, and they're all like quite big muscular men, and he was worried about seeing Freddy next to them would make him look like less impressive because he's quite a small man. And there's one scene where they really try and mask that.
If he was like a giant, that would be more pretty. Carry on.
Well, I mean, I guess we've only really seen him up until this point, alongside like kind of petite women, or like Jesse, who's like a little waif of a gay. Yeah. So yeah, he does some kind of. Well, people start getting boiled in the pool.
Yeah. And then all the wieners explode.
Yeah.
The wieners explode, and then the beers all like come everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Yes, there's lots of spray post wiener explosion. And then the whole kind of like, people can't get out of the garden because there's fire all around it.
Yeah. There's like a really mild death where one of the boys' heads just gets stepped on by another boy.
Oh, yes. And he just has like a little bit of a nosebleed or something.
It's like a weird mild death.
Yeah. It's also, surprisingly, I think, for a slasher, I mean, I guess it is a slasher, but it doesn't feel so much like one, is that there's a very small body count. Like, I can only think of like 3 people that were killed.
Yeah. Well, yeah, also, we didn't actually talk about the birds, but yeah, they died.
Oh, the birds. Oh, the birds die?
Yeah.
Yeah, so apparently, originally, there was an animatronic parakeet made, but it looked too cheesy, apparently. But yeah.
I feel the birds.
Yeah, the parakeet moment is weird, because they do that thing where this is quite early on in the film, where they cover up the parakeet cage, which has 2 in, and they cover it up because birds are stupid and think that it's nighttime when it's dark. Yes. And then it starts to like vibrate, and then Jesse lifts off the sheet, and one of them like is spat out, and it's got like its head missing or something.
Yeah.
And then the other one
escapes and bites him. And then it's just like swarming around the family. They're like,
yeah, like Tippy Hedron.
Just one tiny bird.
Like the tiniest bird. Yeah, and then it explodes.
Well, yeah, it sets on fire and then explodes.
And the dad thinks it's because the central heating's not working properly.
It's like classic dad in horror films, like, oh, it must be something sensible.
So the party, how do they get to the power plant after the party?
Well, that's a great question, because the thing is, like, Freddy disappears through the garden fence.
Oh, like in a flame. Yeah.
Like ball of fire. And I think, oh no, it's he disappears, and then Lisa's like, I must find him and save him. And she drives to the power plant without him. And that's when we first encountered hilarious dogs with baby faces.
That we gasped. We gasped. Yeah, and this is a weird bit as well, because this is where the whole scene, kind of final scene in the power plant, even Lisa is experiencing it in quite a dreamlike way, because at first she sees this little rat that then kind of screams at her, and then this cat comes down that's got like big comedy teeth, and then she's got this bite on a leg from earlier where Freddy got her, and it looks like it's covered in ants, and she starts like scratching at it, but then she looks again and it's still bandaged up.
Yeah, it's like really weird, like mild animal peril.
Yeah.
I don't understand what relevance it has.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the power plant bit at the end, I think it was quite a weak ending for the rest of the film.
Yeah.
But then, so she has a confrontation with Freddy, and she kind of defeats him by kind of talking him around.
But also, yeah, but then it's funny because I was thinking this bit's like hilarious, like kind of gay conversion therapy, where she's just like being, no, it's not real, ignore it. And then actually goes so far as to kiss him to try and cure him of Freddiness. And then he like sets on fire and then kind of like, yeah, it's crispy shell.
Yeah, he like emerges from it like a straight butterfly.
Yeah.
And then it finishes. Does it? Oh no, it doesn't, because then they're on the bus afterwards.
And then featuring my favorite ginger friend. He gets he gets on at the front of the bus this time.
Yes.
But yeah, then what happens? They're just like on the bus, and then he's like, "Oh my god, it's going really fast, Lisa." She's like, "Calm down."
Yeah, no, it's fine. Everything's. Yeah. Remember, you're not that person anymore. Yeah, and then they've got this friend who kind of pops up occasionally. It's Lisa's friend.
Yeah,
who's got that kind of big black hair. Yeah, and she gets like a claw through her at the end, and then the bus drives off into this like kind of wasteland, a bit like it did at the beginning.
Yeah, but we don't end up back at the Rocky Phallus.
Not the Rocky Phallus. Who the fuck is Palace? Palace, I mean. How do you know? So that is the film in a nutshell.
Yes.
What did you think of it?
I really enjoyed it. I still am completely gooped about how overtly gay it is. Like, I literally wasn't. I thought it was going to be like undertones rather than really loud overtones of gayness. Yeah, like I can't think of a gayer horror film really that. Yeah, it's true that it's the gayest horror film.
I feel like it. I love it, but I feel like it's almost its own standalone film because it betrays so many of the kind of tropes from the first one.
Right.
That it doesn't necessarily follow on really neatly. But also, apparently, it's the only film in the entire franchise, and I haven't seen the entire franchise, but where none of the characters make another appearance, and none of them are in the first one, apart from Freddy. So it's like, it's almost, whereas in the third one, we have Nancy back from the first one. And then there are characters that follow. So it's almost like its own, it reminds me of, is it Halloween 2, where it's just like its own complete.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously this one still has Freddy.
Oh no, it's Halloween 3 that said that. Yeah, and I'm seeing the same with like Exorcist 3 as its own standalone film as well, where it's just like not really related to it.
Yeah, it's almost as if it was going to become like an anthology series, but then it went back to kind of.
But it's strange, it's like the second one, and then it just goes back to what it was originally.
Yeah.
It's just like a sort of weird detour. It's funny actually with your notes saying that like Wes had so many concerns with so many different bits of the film. It's just like, did he? Like, obviously, he wasn't involved in much of it.
Well, he didn't write it. I don't know who wrote the first one, but it was so the writer, I think, it was a co-producer. I don't know who wrote it actually, but it was directed by a guy called Jack Shoulder, and apparently he wasn't really he didn't read the queerness at all.
Where did the queerness come from?
Well, it would have come. So the co-producer was called David Sharkin or Shaskin. I can't read my handwriting. And he was very, very familiar with the subtext of it. He knew it, and it took him a long time, like decades after the film, to admit that it was actually a bit of a gay film.
Well, he done it, but he had done it on purpose.
Well, it had been done on purpose. But also, he for a long time, he blamed Mark Patton of playing it gay. And there's
ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it was there in the script already.
You could literally have the straightest, manliest man in that role, and it just still would have been the gayest film.
Yeah,
ever.
for sure. And then he then apologized later to Mark Patton for saying that and admitting that it was just a bit of a gay film.
A bit gay.
So I have a question. Did you have a rumor that went around at school that Robert Englund, the guy who played Freddy Krueger, was so terrified of the character that he played that he killed himself?
No, I never heard that. I know that, like, basically, like, the Nightmare on Elm Street series were, like, the first, like, really, like, oh my God, you have to see this film. It's too scary for babies like us. And nobody ever, actually, none of my friends had even watched it, because it was apparently too scary. Like, I'd seen, like, Amityville and, like, other horror films. But, like, I was in my head thought that Nightmare on Elm Street was going to be too scary. I think it's because, like, visually, like, Freddy is quite kind of gruesome, and you kind of imagine that the rest of the story is going to be equally disgusting, like, or like, yeah, gory, I suppose.
I feel like by the time I started watching films, which like that were horror films, which would have been like mid-90s, I think it was probably a bit dated at that point. And also the franchise was probably beginning to run its course a little bit, was known as, I don't know, it definitely wasn't part of my childhood at all, apart from the rumor that he'd killed himself because he was so scared of himself. But he is very much still alive in 73.
Yeah.
So he obviously got over the fear and his death. So another question.
Yeah.
People have read it as being a metaphor for HIV and AIDS. What do you reckon?
I wonder if that's just like it being linked to gayness. I can't see how that plays really in this.
So
what do you think?
I think it's a bit of a reach, for two reasons. One is that 1985 was still quite early in the AIDS crisis.
Yeah.
But the main reason I think it's a bit of a reach is when Mark Patton turned 40, he was diagnosed with HIV. And I wonder if that's all just become a part of the kind of lore that people have retrospectively looked into it and thinking that it's an 80s film, so it must be about AIDS.
Yeah,
and it's about, something inside of you that you can't get, I don't know.
And like gay lifestyle and AIDS are like intrinsically linked around that time. So maybe people can just separate
especially since there is also like a kink element in the film as well. But yeah, I think it's a bit of a reach.
I can't even see like where that would fit in, like into the film. Like he's got something inside of him, but then he gets better, so that doesn't really work. It's I don't know. I can't see it.
No, same. And then the other theory is that obviously, there are many reasons why this film's read as queer, but people say that one of the queerest things is that Jesse is occupying a role that is normally played by a woman, which is the final girl. But technically, Lisa is the final girl.
I was thinking that because I'd also read that it was like a rare instance in the final boy, essentially. And then I was sort of disappointed that it wasn't so clear cut as that, because Lisa really is there, so it's not like I mean, I guess they're both final people in the real.
But he is part protagonist and part antagonist because of over him. So she's ultimately the one that defeats her, and he's just there. He's the kind of the useless gay.
Yeah, I guess it's just like really kind of a whingy victim, and Lisa saves him. Really, it's just like that's kind of like.
I mean, where would gays be without their women friends? Yeah, who they tried unsuccessfully to have sex with.
With their big brown green poontang.
Precisely.
I know, I was just like, it's all random.
Do you want to hear some trivia?
I would love to hear some trivia.
So, I've got 3 facts. One is that every time that Freddy is seen, you can hear a whale song playing. Did you notice that?
No.
I already knew this, but I wasn't looking for it. But then towards the end, it was really, really, really clear, because it reminded me of one of the Kate Bush songs that begins with whale song. But yeah, and that's...
Do you mean like the sound of whales singing?
Yeah, like those kind of like squeaky, squeaky, squeaky. Yeah, and it was just to make it more kind of surreal and weird. Fact number 2 is that this film, out of the franchise, is Robert Englund, who played Freddy's, least favourite. So it's not really a popular film amongst the kind of the cast of the original.
And this is why it's more important for queers to review films that are about queer stuff, because we like these more on stream.
Yeah, I love this. Like, I much prefer this to the first film.
Yeah, me too.
Much prefer it. I just wish it stuck truer to the dream thing, but that's my only complaint.
Yeah.
And the ending could be a bit tighter. But and then the final factoid is that the film's just under 90 minutes, and guess how long Freddy Krueger's on screen for?
3 minutes.
It's longer than that.
2 minutes.
I'll tell you, it's around 13 minutes.
13 minutes.
Yeah. I would be intrigued to see how much of the film Jesse is fully clothed in, because I expect it's less than 13 minutes.
I'd like to see a film where all of them were naked all the time.
Well, you're halfway there with this one. Shall we take a little break?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So let's talk a bit about representation in the film. So I guess normally we'll talk about like representation of women, representation of people of color, representation of queerness, but the representation of queerness is kind of implied in the whole rest of this.
Yeah.
Because
obviously, but that's kind of a fail. But like really, overall, it's just so kind of, I was going to say throbbing way.
I mean, it is. I think you'd have to be an absolute moron not to read this film through a queer lens or queerly. Well, is it? I mean, I'd like to see what my parents made of this film. I wouldn't like to watch it with them, but I'd like to hear what they have to say about it. But shall we talk about women?
Yes, let's talk about women. Actually, well, it fails the Bechdel test, so we already discussed that. And there's no woman talking to another woman about anything that isn't a man. And it's literally like ridiculously all the way through, even when I wish I knew Slutty Friend. What was.
I'm not even sure she was named.
But Slutty Friend talking to Lisa about whether her dad's going to DJ her party. It's just that she could, and all she does is talk about boys.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's not really anything else. But I mean, the character of Lisa is quite strong, and actually, like in retrospect, she kind of like does a lot of like above and beyond to try and save him, like throughout the film.
Yeah, to save a man who's not really showing her an awful lot of interest.
No, and like also keeps turning up at her house covered in blood, saying she's killed.
Yeah. She is kind of like old. So the thing that this film has very much in common with the first film is that the and I think it happens in a lot of like teeny slasher horror films, is that the adults are very much absent or like kind of bad. I mean, his mum, Jesse's mum, is lovely, but utterly useless.
Yeah.
And I think Lisa takes on quite a maternal role in kind of looking after him.
Yeah.
And she seems old beyond her years. In which case, is that a great representation of a young teenage girl whose role is to kind of look after the gay man?
She actually kind of like refuses to be a victim for a lot of it. Like the final confrontation, that's how she kind of wins, essentially. So yeah, maybe she's great.
Yeah. I don't know, because also she refuses to win on the grounds that I don't know. Well, yeah, I mean, she's a great character.
I guess, like, really, what she wants is the D.
But also, like, she is ultimately the victor. Like, she does all the research. She kind of pushes him to, like, kind of open up more. She actively goes to try and help him. Yeah, she's much more active than the other role that he looks to for support, which is Grady, who he just goes to, I guess, because he's a hot man.
Yeah, yeah. Totty.
So yeah, we also haven't discussed his little sister, who's quite iconic.
Oh yeah.
I like when she tries the nails on.
Oh yeah.
From the cereal box at the beginning. And she's just like, and then later she's only got like 3 lines, but one of them is, "Shh, the birds are sleeping."
Yeah.
And then they start attacking everyone.
Yeah.
So the elephant in the room is the lack of representation of people of color in this film.
Yeah.
I think, and I can't be sure, but I think in one of the scenes where it pans around the classroom, you see one black woman.
Yeah.
I think.
I missed it, I blinked.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a super white film. It's set in Ohio in the 1980s. I don't know enough about the US to know what the demographic is in Ohio, but I bet it's not 100% white.
Yeah, you'd think there would be at least like some Latin people, or like, yeah, there's no representation. It's all.
But in terms of queer representation, there isn't. I guess there is explicit queer representation, which is the coach.
Well, we don't know. I mean, like, he's kinky. We know that much, but with his lovely leather blouse. But yeah, we don't know what he's into. I suppose, like.
But also, so when Jesse turns up at that bar, that reads to me as a gay bar. I mean, well, the first pair you saw were a pair of men kissing.
Oh, I missed
it. It was definitely a gay bar. I mean, it was definitely gay. And
I just thought it was sort of like a sort of kinky bar.
I think it was the queer BDSM place that Grady refers to, because there was also some very butch women and potentially a few trans people. Like, it looked like a queer crowd.
Yeah.
And then and I think also the fact that his version of punishment to, I mean, maybe all school like baseball coaches are like this, but his version of punishment to these kind of live young boys is to get them to punish them through like physical kind of exertion, which is kind of BDSM-y, I guess. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's it really.
Shall we give some awards?
Oh yes, that sounds.
So this segment is called the Bloody Mary Awards, and and it's where we go through some categories and say what our favourites or best or worst bits were. So the first one is favourite character.
Yeah, favourite character is basically, to explain it, is just a random character that we just like. So my favourite character, as mentioned, is Ginger Large Boy at back of a school bus with a boombox. Also looking suspicious.
My favourite character, I don't know if you'll remember him, is in the pool party scene where Freddy Krueger's there. There's a very mild-mannered, sexy peacemaker who tries to like calm him down, and he's like, "Nobody's going to hurt you. I'm here to help." He was my favourite.
Say like horrific monster and being like, calm down.
Spoopiest moment?
Yeah, so I think it wasn't overall a spoopy film, but there was a scene where he wakes up in the night and goes to his sister's room, and she's in there sort of glowing and singing in slow motion the Freddy song, the 1, 2, Freddy's coming for.
That's beautiful.
Well, you think.
She's got like pigtails,
yeah,
like a flowing dress.
Yeah, so that bit was kind of like it was a nice sort of chilling moment, but I mean,
it's not scary for anything. Yes, agreed. So this is the lols bit. What was the funniest bit?
Obviously, I already mentioned the kind of like dogs with baby faces glued onto them.
The funniest moment for me was when Lisa's mum answered the phone and then shouted up the stairs, "Sweetheart, there's a Jessie on the phone."
It's a Jessie.
What do you think was the best death? I chose the best death. So this is quite a difficult one because it is a low body count for a slasher film. Yeah. But I do think that the best death is the coach being whipped with a towel. I was going to say a tea towel. with a towel hanging up in the showers. It's just a really weird scene.
Yeah, I was going to say the bears exploding. But no,
this was human bodies.
Yes, human bobbies. And yeah, like the worst, obviously, I think maybe it's just that random boy being squished at the party. So
yeah, that was weak.
Needless death.
It truly was. What do you think was the queerest moment?
All of the film. What did you think?
I guess this is the campus moment, or the gayest moment, maybe more so. But when he was kind of stroppily trying to tidy his room and put things away, so he turned on like some kind of camp disco diva and started dancing.
Yeah,
yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah.
And finally, the sexiest character,
yes, of course,
Grady.
Grady,
Grady, how does your lady garden grow?
Yeah.
So final thoughts?
I loved it. It wasn't scary, and it was more of a horror romp, I'd say. But yeah, like literally maybe one of the gayest films ever, even. Yeah.
Yeah, same. I love it. I really, really love like teeny American films anyway. And this was just like kind of camp and funny and silly and sexy and not scary, but good.
Yeah, it ticks all the boxes.
Oh, it really does. I know it ticks my box. How many stars out of 5 would you give it? Skulls. Do skulls. How many spoopies? Pumpkins. How many pumpkins?
How many spoopies? Well, yeah, in terms of scariness, well, I don't know, how are we rating it? Just in terms of enjoyability. In terms of enjoyability, yeah, I'd give it like a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, same. 4 pumpkins out of 5. It was really fun.
So we're back from the break, and it's time for a spoopy story or fact, and we're going to be doing one of these each episode. I thought, seeing as it's the first one, I'd look at the Bloody Mary folklore. So Bloody Mary is thought to have started with the divination ritual performed by young women to see their future spouses in the 20s. They did this for walking.
I don't want my future spouse to be in his 20s. Okay.
Or in the 1920s.
Oh, no.
I missed him.
He is dead.
Well, they do this by walking backwards downstairs with a candle and a hand mirror. And they're
downstairs?
Yeah, backwards.
That's an accident waiting to happen.
Exactly. And so they're meant to see the face of whoever they were going to marry in the mirror. But sometimes they'd see a skull. And if they saw that meant that they were actually going to die before they got married. But not marry a dead person. Obviously, mirrors have long been deemed portals to the spirit realm, with examples including at funerals where they cover their mirrors up, and also in pop culture, scrying in Snow White, using the mirror to find
scrying?
And scrying, it's a type of divination.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why are you scrying?
Anyway, so fast forward to the early 70s, Bloody Mary mirror witch game became a favorite for teen girls at slumber parties. The game has varying rules, but it starts with a dark or candle-lit bathroom, and the group chanting Bloody Mary into the mirror either 3 or 13 times, depending on...
I haven't got time for that. I'm very busy.
The outcomes vary from Bloody Mary just peeping around spoopily, and to screaming, scratching of faces and eyes, strangulations, kinky, to fully dragging the children.
Drag me, mama.
Into the mirror realm.
Fuck my drag.
Where she keeps them or bathes in their blood, depending on the folklore we believe. And different variations. She also goes by kind of basic names like Sally, Kathy.
What? So you just stand in the mirror and go, Kathy, Kathy, Kathy.
I think you're going bloody Kathy.
It's just like, what if you like live with someone called Kathy?
Kathy. Oh no, not you.
Don't drag me. Don't bathe in my blood, Kathy.
And Mary Worth. I don't know who that is, but apparently that's quite a popular one. But then there's also spoopy alternatives like Bloody Bones and Hell Mary. But yeah, so that's it. Did you ever play Bloody Sally?
No, but I do often look at myself in the mirror and say, Kathy, Kathy. Well, is Candyman the same thing? Do you say that in a mirror?
Candyman, yeah, it's like from the film Candyman is obviously based on the Bloody Mary ritual, but
in my primary school, which would have been like early 90s, there was a thing about saying, I guess that was around about the time Candyman came out.
Yeah.
That was very much a thing for us at school. We were never dragged or had anyone bathe in our blood that I know of.
Yeah, no, I was thinking we never did any kind of like spooky rituals. I think all we did was like tell ghost stories.
Well, I think in order to do rituals, you have to have friends, don't you?
There was a period where I had friends before they realised my faggotry. But yeah, no, we didn't do that. But we did the ghost stories, like the kind of like humans can lick too. Do you know that?
No. Oh, is that with the dog licking the fingers hanging off the bed? Okay.
It's a human.
Yeah.
Humans can lick too. So yeah, that's the spooky facts of the episode. Thank you.
If you're enjoying Bloody Marys, please subscribe, leave a review, and share with your friends.